In April 1940, German soldiers marched into Denmark and took the entire country in 6 hours. Days later, they stormed the beaches of Norway. Sweden sat right in between them, a country packed with the iron ore Adolf Hitler's war machine couldn't survive without. On paper, Sweden should have been next. It wasn't armed to stop a serious invasion. It wasn't protected by mountains like Switzerland. And yet, for 6 years, while the rest of Europe burned, not a single German soldier fired a shot on Swedish soil. So why didn't Hitler just take it? To understand Sweden in 1940, you have to go back over a century, to 1814. That year, after a disastrous war with Russia cost Sweden the entire region of Finland, Swedish leaders made a decision that would define the country for 200 years. Never again would Sweden pick a side in a great power war. They built their whole foreign policy around one word: neutrality. It worked. Sweden sat out the wars of German unification. It sat out the First World War entirely quietly trading with both sides, and getting rich doing it. By 1939, neutrality wasn't just a policy in Stockholm. It was a national identity. But 1939 was different. Nazi Germany's entire war economy ran on steel, and Sweden held some of the richest iron ore deposits on earth, up in the frozen mining town of Kiruna. Without Swedish iron, German tanks didn't roll, and German factories didn't run. That made Sweden's neutrality incredibly dangerous, because it meant Sweden had something Hitler couldn't live without. And when you have something a dictator needs, you don't get to just opt out of the conversation. On April 9, 1940, Germany launched Operation Weserübung, the invasion of Denmark and Norway. Denmark's government surrendered almost immediately, unwilling to see its capital bombed. Norway fought back for 2 months with British and French help, but by June it too had fallen. Sweden watched both of its neighbors get swallowed in a matter of weeks. Stockholm braced for the same fate. Newspapers speculated Sweden was next. Reservists were called up, and Swedish leaders faced an impossible question. How do you stay neutral next to a country that just proved neutrality means nothing to it? Sweden's answer wasn't heroic defiance. It was calculated compromise. Stockholm agreed to let German troops and military supplies pass through Swedish railways on their way to occupied Norway and later to the German front in Finland. A policy that still embarrasses Sweden today. It kept selling iron ore to Germany, tens of millions of tons of it, right through the war. To Sweden's government, this wasn't collaboration. It was the price of staying independent. Give Hitler the resources and the transit rights he needed without a fight, and there was no reason for him to spend an army invading a country that was already giving him what he wanted for free.